Do it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Did it. All right, for the that's all I needed, it looks like. All right, for those of you online, sorry for the delay on signing on to Zoom today. We are focusing on farming and farming a specific neighborhood. Oh, and this is building on Tuesday's class on sending a postcard out through command. So we went over that on Tuesday. And if you'd like to catch that recording, that is on our KWB Facebook, or sorry, not our Facebook page, our KWB resources website. Under on-demand training, you can find our recordings. Also, anything I go over today, if you want to book a one-on-one appointment, you can click on I need tech help in the top right corner, and you can book an appointment on our Calendly. For today's postcard, I did want to focus on doing a postcard in Canva since we weren't able to do that in full on Tuesday. So that's going to be my where I'm going to start postcards today. And with Canva, you can create a free Canva account with your KW email. It is free. You just don't get access to all the elements in Canva, but you can still utilize it to a high level. However, if you do want the pro account, just a heads up, as a KW agent, you do get 20% off the annual fee for Canva. So if you're planning on using that a lot for your business, then I might recommend using that discount, and just let us know and we can send you that link for the discount. Actually, I just put that on the KWB resources website, now that I say that. So instead, if you would like that discount code, if you go under tech resources and tech help at KWB, it's at the very bottom. It's under important links, and there is the Canva discount code there. Just trying to centralize this on the site. Okay. So I do have two tabs open. I have Canva open in one tab, and then I have Command open in another. And here I'm going to sign in with my KW credentials. Now, for the first avenue that we can use in Command, like the Command tool we can use, postcards can be sent right from Command. So if you're looking to farm a specific neighborhood, whether that be the neighborhood you live in or another neighborhood out there, Command has the ability to circle around the neighborhood. Hey, Joanne, how's it going? Oh, no. It's on the third floor? Oh, okay. Well, I'll keep my eye out. Yeah, absolutely. You talk to mom and I just. Oh, that's the story of my life right there. Lose my phone every day. So yeah, Command has the ability, you can circle around a specific neighborhood, and Command does the postage and send out right to their mailboxes. So it is a really cool feature in Command. And a lot of times a question that we get is, how can I get the contact information of the neighborhood I'm trying to target? A lot of times we hear agents, there is like the ability through the tax records to look that up, but it is a one-by-one kind of deal. So another way that can help you get contact information from a neighborhood is to run a promo, like a giveaway, on a postcard, getting that information from them. So if you were to put on a postcard, submit your information for a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card, home goods gift card, gas gift card, doesn't matter. That will help get that contact information, because typically people don't want to leave their contact information unless they're going to get something. So that's just a great strategy if you're trying to collect info from a neighborhood. And we're going to go through this example today. So the first thing I'm going to go to in Command is going to be the campaign section, which is this megaphone icon on the left-hand side. And we're going to go up to create campaign and do direct mail for a postcard. We'll give it a goal or a name and a goal, but this is only for your organization purposes, so you know what this is. No one else is going to see this. And also just in general, like with today's class, because in case I'm going like really fast, anything that we do today, like more if you mentally note that you can do it, and then you can book an appointment with us and we can sit down and do it together. So just don't feel like you need to like retain everything today. We can always do things together, but more so just know that you can do this in Command, which is going to be great. So to build out this postcard, we're just going to try to get check marks next to each of these sections. So starting with content, I'm going to click on that section to drop it down. And now we did a default template on Tuesday. And to upload from Canva, we can also click over to upload a custom template. And I like to come here first because then it's going to break down the exact requirements that we need from Canva. So including what format we need it in, how we need to download it, but most importantly, the sizing that it requires. So based off what size that you're looking to send out, there's a 4x6, a 6x9, a 6x11. But let's say we are trying to do a 6x9. If we are creating that, we would need to have that design be a 6.25 by 9.25 for the quarter lead. So to do this in Canva, what I would recommend is to, instead of like just typing in the search bar, real estate postcard, I would go up to create design in the top right corner and actually do this with a custom size at the bottom. That way, we're going to be able to put in the exact requirements Command has using those quarter-inch additions. So I did a 9.25 by 6.25 and create new design. Once I've created that design, I can still use the template options in Canva. So in designs, I can still search for real estate and pull those in. But now when I add them to my design, it's going to be the exact format Command needs. So let's just use this one as an example here. Actually, I like this one. But if you are using a free account, just a heads up, we want to avoid the ones with crowns on them because those are for pro. But again, there are still free options available for us to use, and we can just click on it and apply those pages to our design. All right. Then working with Canva, I find Canva very user-friendly in the sense that you can kind of just double click in there to start typing. You can change fonts up at the top, sizing, color, the whole nine. When we are working with these designs in Canva though, something to note is the postage. We want to make sure that nothing is going to get cut off when we pull it through Command. And when we do pull it through Command, there is postage that will be put in about this location. So as you're creating that, you do not want to put anything in that area so that nothing gets cut off. And I'll be able to show you exactly how that gets cut off when we go through Command. So we might need to do some rearranging. I'm going to move things around. And I'm going to delete this up here. Awesome. And then, of course, we would want to update this with our contact information. And our picture as well, which we can always upload our headshot into here if we do not already have that in here. But we can also, any of the pictures that we're wanting to use, we can click and drag that over and it's going to replace that image for us. Now for this example, I wanted to show how we can put a giveaway on this postcard. And I might recommend doing that through a Google form to capture that lead information. And Google Forms are very user-friendly. I like Google Forms for capturing a lot of lead information because you can ask whatever question you want on there. And to get there, we can either Google search Google Forms, or we can go to forms.google.com. And we can just create a blank form with that top plus sign. Now, filling this out, we're going to, I would recommend putting the value right on top so they know, so they're tempted or motivated to actually leave their contact information. And this is totally up to you, what you see fit, but sometimes we see agents do like home goods so that it ties back to being a home expert in real estate. However, you can do, I see gas gift card, I see Amazon gift card used, all kinds of things. Oh, might want to put gift card. And then I can put for the description, fill out the information below to be entered for a chance to win. Then we are going to, for the questions, ask for the contact information we are wanting. And what KW recommends grabbing from contacts in general is an email, a phone number, a physical address, and then bonus points for a birthday and a home anniversary. And this all ties back to the 201 Club as well. So to start putting in that information, what I love about Google Forms is all you have to do is for untitled question, if we put in the question that we need, so if we say like name, it's going to change the question type for us automatically based off what we type in there. So because it's a name, it's now a short answer. And we can even turn this on required so that they have to fill that out in order to submit. So I'm going to do name, I'm going to do email, do phone number. And I'm going to turn these all on required for these top ones. And then for birthday and home anniversary, I'm just going to leave as not required because sometimes people don't want to give that information away, and that's less important than the contact information. And totally based off you, it does for birthday change the answer to like a calendar view where they can select from a calendar. But you can change what kind of answer they're giving. So if you maybe want to do short answers so they don't have to put in the year, because people are a little, don't want to put that in, you can change that to short answers so they have that option. Then just a couple settings that we would want to turn on. So under responses, if you click these three dots, you can get an email notification for all new responses so that you can follow up right away. And then under settings, always check to make sure that if you create that under your KW email, by default, it restricts people who can see it to other KW emails. But we can turn that toggle off so everyone can see it. So those two settings are great for responses and settings. This one's a really important one under responses and turning off this toggle so we don't restrict anyone from seeing it. Okay, so now that we created our Google form to capture lead information for that gift card, we can now put this on our postcard as a QR code. And to do that, we can go up to send in the top right. And then we can click over to this link icon. And I might recommend just clicking to shorten the URL. I don't know why we wouldn't do that. And then click copy. And once we copy that link, we can go back into our postcard. And under apps, we're going to find a QR code generator. So all we have to do is put in that URL, click generate code, and voila, we have our QR code ready to go. Put that up here. And then I can even put some verbiage like scan the QR code to be entered to win a $100 home goods gift card. compliments. Home expert. If we want to be extra fun, we could even under elements, you can search. Canva is so cool. You can search for anything and everything right here in Canva. So you can make it as pretty as you like. We put a arrow to really emphasize this QR code. So we've got our QR code created. And just something else to point out while we're in here is that we do have access to a ton of stock photos. So if we don't like this photo that we're using on the design, if we type or search for a home and go over to photos, we're going to have options to a ton of stock photos that we can use instead. And we can click and drag that over, I think, maybe. Yeah. Oh. It's the background. So we can like add that as our background. What I did was I like clicked on it and then I right clicked and I replaced the background photo. And we can have that to be whatever that you see fit. Like so. So using Canva is great for your marketing. We love it. Use it every day. So once we have it created in Canva, we are now going to utilize these extra rules that which format that we need it in. So JPEG or PDF, I would recommend PDF for print. And that we need to download the front and back as separate files because we're going to upload them as separate files. So to do this, we're going to go to share. We're going to go to download. Oops, sorry. Let me move this. No. Okay. Share, download. We're going to change file type to PDF print. And then instead of all pages, we're going to click on select pages, like all pages. And we're going to select page 1, download, and then do the same steps for page 2. Oh, we're going to front postcard. And then we're going to do the same steps for page 2. We're going to go share, download, change to PDF print, and then all pages and page 2. Okay, boom. So now we've downloaded that. We can go into command now to really stay in command to build this postcard order out. So first, we're going to give it the content by uploading the front accordingly and the back. And then click save. Then for the market center, we're going to drop that down and verify this address by clicking verify address. It always gives you this pop-up and you just need to click the toggle and then click confirm address. All right. Moving right along to targeting. So targeting, this is where you can, so just a heads up, you can target your database. So if you have addresses in there, you can send them right to their mailbox. Or local targeting, we can target a specific neighborhood based off an address. So you may need to search up an address in that neighborhood if you don't know one, or if it's your neighborhood, you could do your address. And then for the budget, we can actually update that when we're configuring targeting. So I'm just going to leave that checked and move us right along by clicking configure targeting in the top right corner. And yes. This is where things get extra fun. So by default, let me zoom out a little bit. It is targeting, and let me zoom out more. There we go. There we go. So by default, it targets the surrounding 200 homes radius around that that address you put in. So it's doing the surrounding 200 homes. If we wanted to target more or less around that location, we could just type this number here to whatever we want it to be. So like, let's say 150. And then it's going to change, and these dots are the homes around that location that it would send those to. So it would change that targeting, and it would target only 150 homes around that area. If we want to be more specific with our targeting, we do have extra options here to draw and use the polygon tool. Now, they're very similar. I find polygon tool a lot more user-friendly, and they're basically the same. So like, we can target a location by clicking, and then every time you click, it's going to allow you to change directions. So if we click around the area we're wanting to hit, for one, that number will change for us so we know how many homes we're targeting with that area, as well as the price point at the bottom. So we're going to be able to really target exactly where we need. And even if we've already created our area, we can make it more or less by using these dots. Expanding it out will increase that number, but we can also expand it in to remove houses as well. And if there's specific houses that you don't want to hit within this area, you can also hover over a dot and click remove from that pop-up as well, and it won't hit that house. So once we have that targeted, we can filter by additional items. I don't see this used too often, to be honest, because usually you're just trying to hit an area with those postcards. But then we can pick the postage class, so either standard or first class, and that's just how fast it gets to their mailbox. So standard will mail out in 7 to 14 days, and first class will mail out in 4 to 6 business days. So typically we see agents use standard for most things. First class, though, we do see for like just listed postcards, since that's time sensitive. Then we can click on this checkbox as well to send a copy to the company address. And I would recommend it. That way you can see what was sent and at what time it was sent at, so you receive it when they receive it. And then we can click next here. And once we click next, this is the final step here. One, this preview will be the main one to check to make sure nothing gets cut off. So we can click on view a larger preview, make this big. And what we're looking out for in this section is making sure no information is cut off the edges, and that no information gets cut off with this postage. So making sure everything's good here. And once we feel like that's good to go, all we need to do is put in our email and our card number, and Command does the postage and mailing out for you. Boom. Farm to neighborhood. And with farming, typically that time frame of farming and getting results on the marketing efforts looks like 6 months, meaning that you need to be targeting or farming a neighborhood for 6 months consistently. Because a lot of times we will have agents like farm a neighborhood once and not get anything back and then stop and give up. But that number looks like 6 months of consistency. So it's important that if you are wanting to do farming, that you're budgeting for 6 months worth to really get an effective ROI on it. That being said, you can schedule out postcards right from Command. So if you want to sit down one day and use Canva to crank out 6 postcards, you can then sit down in Command and schedule those out for consistently every other month for a whole year, right from Command. And if you do schedule, it won't pull out your money until it's actually scheduled to order. So it won't like pull it out all in one. It will pull out the money for when it's scheduled to be sent out. So that's a really great way to use Command to help farm a neighborhood. All right. I'm going to kind of move us into a new area and we'll talk about door knocking flyers. So just a heads up, in Canva, since we are using Canva here in class today, you can search right in that search bar for door knocking real estate flyers. And I guarantee they're going to have Canva templates available for you to use for this. And they do. So you can use Canva for, they have just a lot more like design options. This is their whole kind of, industry is for design. So they do have so many templates for real estate agents that you can use. But the one con I would say with Canva versus Command's designs, so Command has its own design section. And what I like about Commands is that it syncs with the MLS. So if you ever need to pull in like listing information or neighborhood information, Command is a really good resource, or Command's designs is great for that because it syncs to our MLS. So in the design section, which is going to be that paintbrush icon on the left-hand side, when we come to designs, this is going to be any previous designs you've worked on. But we can access all of our templates by going up to Create Design in the top right. And because this is a door knocking flyer, we're going to do Print and Next. Then we're going to be taken to a whole ton of templates available for us. So for one, like a listing, if you're planning to do door knocking for a specific listing, you can create this in auto create section here. And all you would have to do is put in the property information and it will create a flyer for you. But for something a little more evergreen for like door knocking in general for a neighborhood, we also have options for that. So I'm going to go under buyer and neighborhood snaps because I do like these options to help share neighborhood information. Oh, and also for those of you online, let me know in the chat if you have any questions at all, and I can, reiterate anything. But once we click a category on the left-hand side, we're going to be able to narrow down our designs with the top toolbar. So for this example, since we want flyers, we can click on that so that we can just see the flyer options available. Then we're just going to click Use on any flyer design that we want. So then we're going to do some editing for this flyer. So for one, you'll see Barton Hills throughout designs, and that's just a placeholder for where they want you to put the actual neighborhood name. So for that, we can double click in a text box to start typing. Then single clicking on a text box will allow you to, one, move things up, but it also allows you to change things like font, the format, the sizing. Well, no, I can't italicize that one. Then for photos, I would recommend always clicking on a photo first. And that way, when we search, like, let's say we search up real estate, as long as you click on a photo first, this extra replace icon will appear. So you'll see if I'm not clicked on it, there's only 2 icons, but if we click on it first, we have 3. And if we click on that, it will just resize it automatically to that photo size. So we don't have to do any resizing there. Then this piece of information, which might be one of the most important things, is actually really easy to create. By using the KWLS section on the left-hand side, when we come here, it's right now we're searching by listings, but we can click over to snapshots and search by neighborhood names. Once we find our neighborhood name, we can click on it, the one in North Carolina. And then it's going to create this graphic for us. And again, I would always recommend clicking on that graphic first so that we can just simply replace it and add it in. Then, for this verbiage here, we can either write that in. I would use ChatGPT because I am not good at writing things. So just as an example of using ChatGPT, and this is, really advanced. How I always recommend starting our prompts with ChatGPT is act as a real estate professional so that its framework is speaking as a real estate agent. And write me a short description about, I'm going to try to say the Hunter Oaks neighborhood and just try to give it as much information as I can. And let's with great schools and location near shopping. Try to give it as much information as you can regarding the neighborhood. That's going to create better results for you, of course. And once you click enter, it's going to spit that out for us. Isn't that great? Me too. I use it just all the time. Right? It's like my best friend right now. Yeah, what should I get? Yeah. Literally. Wow, good question. I feel like I don't use it to its like full potential because I need to ask it cooler questions. Like the other day I asked it like, if you were a real estate agent, what would you use ChatGPT for? Like I asked ChatGPT that question and it gave me 5 things like script writing, things like that. And I was like, ah, smart. Yeah. Right. So I'm just gonna copy that and put it into my paragraph here. And I might need to do some resizing here and deleting. So if I click on a text box, I can click backspace to delete it. And I can just kind of rearrange this to how I see fit. Now with designs in command, you will always see this DBA name logo as a placeholder so that you remember to put our logo for compliance purposes. So again, I would always recommend clicking on the logo. Then we can go over to my assets at the top and we're going to be able to replace that. And then of course, your information you can fill out as fit. Okay. So that's utilizing commands designs. And the main thing I did want to point out is this little graphic and how easy that was to create. All we did was go to the KWS section and we have access to all this neighborhood stats right from the designs. And it makes it really easy to add it to postcards and flyers. So at this point, if we're ready to print it, you can order print from here, but honestly, you can print it on our printers here at the office too. So I would just recommend downloading that as a PDF for print and download. And that will just download to your computer so you can then go print it at the office printers. It's been taking forever to download, but it does eventually. All right. So that is door knocking flyer. Any questions on that? Yeah. Do you have any questions on that? Okay. Cool deal. Okay, another way that is great to, strategically to farm a neighborhood would be, and it's a little more next level, but would be to create a video on that neighborhood. So if you went and toured that neighborhood showing some houses in the neighborhood, some amenities that the neighborhood has. Typically when you Google a neighborhood, the only thing that pops up is like the HOA page. There's like typically not a lot of information out there about specific neighborhoods. And because Google owns YouTube, if you create a video and post it onto YouTube and someone searches that neighborhood, Google's going to boost you up on Google because it owns YouTube and wants to drive traffic back to there. So if you do that, that's a great way to, one, come off as a credible neighborhood expert. Wow, this one realtor has the video on this neighborhood. But it's also a really great way to get boosted up on search engine optimization. So that I encourage you to go do that of, yeah, just doing a few clips. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. What would be really great too would be you kind of in the video at 1.2 talking about the neighborhood just because your face tends to perform really well. So if you do that for a specific neighborhood, it could be very effective. So speaking of video, There's also a video tool in Command that is still really cool. Of course, you being in it is a main thing that helps with performance. But there is a neighborhood video in Command that's really, really easy to make and really, really valuable. So under campaigns, there are these quick post options. And this first one never changes. It's always this neighborhood video. And how we use it is we click on the share icon right here, and we search for the neighborhood that we're farming. And then click on our option, and then click next. Then all this information pulls in for us. It's pulling from that Nextdoor app. So really, it's just eyeing it over, making sure it looks good. Then your information's pulling from your marketing profile. And then the same with the market center information. So all you have to do here is click next, really. And then it's going to generate this 1-minute video. And I'll show it to you because it's super short and cool. That we can easily then go post on social media, download, whatever we want to do with it in a matter of clicks. It's my song. It does have music, it's just not fun. It does have cute music with it usually, but it is very valuable information all about that neighborhood. And all we just need to know is the name of it. Pretty cool, right? Yeah. All we have to do is put in the name, and at the end it's all branded to you. So it has your information right at the end. They can contact you. Right. I get really excited about this neighborhood video. It's just so easy. Yeah, right. And like video is so great for social media because like Facebook and Instagram right now, they're trying to compete with TikTok. And because of that, they're pushing videos like crazy. So unlike a picture, when you post a picture on Facebook or Instagram, that only gets in front of your followers. If you post a video, that can get in front of not just your friends and followers because they push it to people you've not met. So it's the one free way to get in front of unmets. Typically, you have to pay via postcard or something like that. So I do recommend utilizing video in your business, but a lot of times people are scared about video, but I encourage you to just dive in and even utilize these videos. So at this point, and that was kind of fast, I click a save and post at once that video was created. And so I can schedule this out or blast this out right from Command. So I can give it the text here. So interested in Hunter Oaks neighborhood. Here's all the stats. I can even give it an emoji with that little smiley face icon down there to make it a little more engaging. And then all I have to do here, I can either publish that immediately or I could schedule that out for a specific day and time. Which I will say with these videos, they are less schedulable because it's pulling stats based off the day you create it. But like if you wanted to schedule out for the next day, that's not too bad. But like you can then publish immediately and that will get posted right to your Facebook page. Yeah, so I really like that video option as well. And just a heads up, they do create, so under that campaigns dashboard where we found that post, they do create other social media posts for you to use. And it's the same kind of steps where all we would have to do is click that share icon in the bottom right. And it's going to bring us to that same social post builder is what they call it. Just this time they fill out the caption and the picture, and all we have to do is schedule this out for a specific day and time. So the last recommendation is probably the most advanced recommendation, is to create a Facebook group in Facebook. So Facebook groups, it's not a page, but it's a like kind of a community group together. And it's very not saturated by agents right now. And a recommendation that a top agent says has done really well for him is that he created a Facebook group for a neighborhood that he was trying to farm. Now, a lot of neighborhoods do have a Facebook group already. And if that's the case, you can kind of niche out further. So be like homes of Hunter Oaks or properties of Hunter Oaks to really niche out via real estate. And it's a great way to create a community within your neighborhood. So you can invite people from that neighborhood. Now, you do have to be friends with them on Facebook to invite them to a group. But why that's so powerful is, one, when you invite them to the group in general, that puts a notification right to their Facebook account that you are in real estate. Just you inviting them to come join that group, that's just a reminder that you're in real estate by itself. But if people start joining that neighborhood or that group, you can start posting that neighborhood video in it weekly or neighborhood stats so that you are, you know, the realtor of choice, the most credible, knowledgeable of that neighborhood right in that group. You can also host giveaways in that group so that people want to join and they stay joined within that group. So it's like a centralized place for the neighborhood that you can communicate with them. And that giveaways suggestion is just a great way to engage people with that group. Because again, people typically don't want to give their information away or join groups without them getting something out of it. So by doing quarterly giveaways in there, people are going to stay engaged and top of mind within that group. And then another way as well with neighborhood farming is neighborhood events. That's a really key way as a realtor to get in front of them, since typically your personality is what you need to get across when you are marketing to people. It can be an overwhelming task to like set up and an expensive task to set up your own neighborhood event. So we like to recommend to join neighborhood events that are already going on. So for example, if your neighborhood is having like, ours just did like a little race in the neighborhood, and I saw or someone set up a table with water bottles for that race that's already going on, so that they didn't, you know, that wasn't anything crazy, but they got to get in front of so many people at that race and talk about how they're in the neighborhood. So I do recommend like joining an event instead of feeling like you need to start your own event or do your first like big event yourself. So way more cheaper. Yeah. You're all. All right. So those are the main ways in Command that we can target, and strategies that you can use to target neighborhoods and farm neighborhoods in Command. Do you have any questions for me? And I know I probably just gave you so much information that your brain is like, stop it, but but yeah, more so just wanted to show you all the tools Command has. And then again, yeah, book with us and we can sit down and do all these things together. Like if you want to do a postcard one day, book an appointment with us, we can sit down and do it. Yeah, it's like a one-on-one. I did have a few earlier, but I think they left. So I had like 3 online earlier, so nothing crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's okay. You know, it's recorded.
Do it now.
No, definitely not. I would have done it either way because it's recorded. So then like people can go look at the recording too anytime. And yeah.
Yeah, that is just really fine.
Awesome. Yeah, it is. I get really excited about it.
Generation so quick, of course, you know, that's how it's worked so quick.
Yeah, but still.
The one with the map and the stats right there.
Yeah, right.
They
just pull that right in, and the whole graphics created like it's like not just the numbers. It's like boom, bada bing, bada boom. It makes it so much more efficient.
Well, I have to tell you, as a tech person, you will appreciate it.
Yeah.
When I share it.
Yeah.
So my brother, graduated from Stanford with his PhD in computer chip design.
Oh, holy
And,
cow.
Anyway, so he's worked for a lot of startup companies, and now he's an independent, contract supervisor,
Yeah.
along with everything, which I'll tell you about in a second. But anyway, so back in the day with the very first iPhone,
Mm-hmm.
he designed 3 of the chips, 3 of the original chips in the original iPhone.
Get out. That's crazy.
Wait till I tell you what they were.
What were they? What?
Making silicon skull.
That's
Can you believe
that's
it?
like the whole iPhone. I mean, those two things right there.
Or technical thing like that.
How
Isn't
does his
that-
brain like it just like it blows my mind that someone created the iPhone and it was basically him with the
Isn't
chips.
that-
That is so cool. What?
He's never worked for Apple. So it was always with companies that he was with. So now like I said, he's
Wow.
and I mean, I think he's given out those yells. Germany.
I bet hearing him talk about that would be so interesting.
He's a really
Holy cow. Yeah, no kidding. And like his, that's